Welcome back, everyone. I am Candy with Candy Conversations.
And I am Ralph, the coach.
The coach.
And you know how we do. We're going to get right on into this thing. And I have a surprise for Candace.
Oh, what's that?
We're doing an update show.
What? This is for real surprise.
Yes,
Okay.
it is a real surprise. That's why I made you go first.
My answer is no.
So when you surprise me with your yes. So this is the episode before last. I'll link it somewhere up in here. But anywho, she surprised me with her let's see, like I don't want to say emotional breakdown, but just saying how you realized that you were not on task and how you gotten back to feeling depleted and all physical, emotional, mentally, and you was like, okay, we're not doing that anymore. So to give the people an update, we are now both back in Atlanta, Georgia. Right?
Yes.
So my first question for our update is Candace being Candace, because from the last from that episode, I think it was healing isn't one direction. That's the episode. Healing isn't one direction. You were saying how you didn't feel like Candace,
right?
Or you wasn't being so. As of now, is Candace being Candace?
Candace is still getting back to being Candace. It's definitely not an overnight transition. I know you know this. So this is for the people. It's not an overnight transition to bring all things back, because some of those things are like really reworking my mindset to get back to things. But a few of the things that I have done since returning back to Atlanta, I've rested more, to be honest, which I need. I have returned to some of my self-care routines that I had in place here. I still have a couple more that I need to bring back in. One being I attended church last Sunday for the first time in over a year. I would watch my church online, but it's nothing like being there. Shout out to Impact Church doing church differently in East Point, Georgia. Really enjoyed the sermon. And it was actually, so Ralph and I would always text her from church, be like, girl, this is what they talking about. And it would always be things that we had recently discussed. So I love my church because it's confirmation of the things that I know I need to do. And the topic, just to sum it up, was life isn't about taking steps, because steps are planned. And when we are truly leaning into trusting, life is a steady decline, but even on that decline, there are experiences that you take in that get you where you need to be. So it's just about trusting the process instead of trying to plan out each steps. And he actually had a ramp up on the pulpit stage and some steps giving those examples. So I was just like, okay, all right, this is for me. This is for me. I've even noticed like just taking some time to be more intentional. Like I have a few trips planned. I'm trying to catch up to my girl here on some of them. She's like getting passport stamps. It's okay. I love it because I'm coming too. But just like some of the trips to like spend time with loved ones, like going to hang out with my niece, that everybody that knows me knows that's a thing for me. Like my niece and I travel together, and like that's our unwinding time. And then I'm getting to go see a really dear friend of mine become a bishop, which I'm so excited about because he's one of my prayer partners and a friend that I've known over 20 years now. We've been out of high school for 20 years. So just things like that, like there were times, and I highlight those things because 6 months ago, I would have been like, oh, well, I can't do it because this, that, and other. And now I'm just kind of doing things. And honestly, I don't fully know how they're going to get done. I'm just saying, do it. And that honestly is the old Candace. That is how I was living life, and I'd stopped doing that. So just not letting people and things get in the way of me putting me first. I do want to restart therapy. I haven't done that yet. I know part of the reason why I couldn't do it in South Carolina because of laws. So now that I'm back in Georgia, I'll be able to restart that. I already went to church, been going to the gym again, outside with my dog, like I used to be, getting this pollinated air in my lungs. Um, but that's it. I don't want to get too long-winded, but yeah, so still a progression, but I do feel better being back, just in the energy of my home. Your home has energy, and being in the energy of my home has helped. So, yeah.
Um, have you worked on the workbook?
I have,
Okay.
not every day, to be honest, but I
So
have.
we're not doing the hour that we said we were going to allot.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I
Thank you
already
for
told you
being
I got
honest.
some no's for you. Nope, I'm not. But look, it's right here. I do have it handy. You can't see
Okay.
it. Yeah, you
Let's
can't see it.
let's
We can
start
link it.
opening up some more.
Yeah, I
Yes.
do need to. I
Okay.
do.
Have you been saying no?
Yes,
Okay.
I said no today.
Oh, well, let's talk about that.
It's not my day to cook dinner, so I said no.
Oh, so you have a schedule of when you cook, and so I guess they didn't feel like cooking. So, maybe
It's so I have a people pleaser to a bit,
oh,
and the concern was making something that I didn't want. So, but I'm
I'm
like,
just not going to do it at all.
well, no, it was like, what do you want? And I'm like,
Oh,
that's a part of you cooking. You choose
yeah.
what to cook. So, we talked about the ingredients that we have here, and we settled upon a meal that I will not be preparing. So, yeah, but the old me would have been like, well, nope, I'll eat me a sandwich. I ain't cooking. Because I mean, honestly, the thing is, do I enjoy it? Yes. But I don't want to not enjoy it because I'm doing it every day. And then two, I don't have time to do it every day. I really don't. It's cute, but
Yeah.
I don't. So that's just me being honest. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to eating something that I didn't have to make. So I did have a no today. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's all really the update questions that I had. If you wanted to elaborate on just how you overall feel from then to now, because now that you're back, you're doing some of the things that you were doing before. Um, do you feel like you are making progress to not slipping back into old ways?
I love that question because talking to a mutual friend of ours, one of our good Judies, my Diddy bot over there, which I would love to have her one time on here with us because whoa. But I was talking to her last night, and in talking to her, it's just the realization that I think my contentment is coming back, which
Okay.
is huge, I feel it coming, like I don't know what tomorrow holds, but here for some reason, I'm okay not knowing what tomorrow holds. Like I can be a little bit more at peace with it. That and just like so those behaviors and mindsets are returning. Whereas I felt like I was in a constant state of angst before,
Mhm.
worry, like I gotta do this and I gotta do this and I gotta organize that. And just being able, I guess, give myself more grace, giving myself the grace to realize that you don't have to figure it all out. It's okay. Breathe. And like, this won't sound weird to you, but I'm super excited about the future without knowing that, which is faith. I don't know what's coming, but I'm excited about it. I feel that excitement coming back. And I didn't have that a couple months ago. So even that I know is a shift for me, like just excited about, like, I felt like I knew I always had this confidence about what is in store for me, but the excitement about it is returning. So, um, yeah, that's it. Like career, family, taking care of myself, all those things. I'm excited about it. And I feel like my downloads are starting to come back more often too, which they weren't coming as often. So like where I was, whew, this one here tell you, we'd be like, download, hey, gotta tell you this, like throughout the day. And it was a long time frame where I feel like I wasn't getting anything. So yeah, those are already coming back. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm like, things that would drive me nuts 3 weeks ago, even. I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
So would you say your discontentment was mainly mindset when you were in Charleston?
Yes. Yes.
I just wanted to point on that. I'm glad you said yes. Because even there was a time when I needed to make an uncomfortable situation comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I think it might it was harder for you,
Mm-hmm.
but because I think the desire and the yearning to be at your place.
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't have a desired yearning for a certain place,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I could just do what I needed to do and find comfort for where I was at.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think it made it harder for you because you already knew where comfort was. You just couldn't detach yourself from that to be comfortable where you were for the time
Right.
frame.
Right. And to be, you are absolutely right. And to add to that is also because, and this is definitely not to sound selfish or anything, but it wasn't my space, you
Well, right,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And not all the time will it be your space. Will it,
Right.
but for some people it may be work. It may
Mm-hmm.
be a location. Like they may
Mm-hmm.
for work, they may have had to move
Right.
where they do like their dwelling, but they may
Mm-hmm.
not like the city or the state, or
Right.
you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And if you're contracted to be somewhere for a year or 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes it harder when your mindset is like, I hate it here.
Right.
As
Right.
you are, as you an example from the other episode. And I feel like if the moment you can kind of catch yourself and you are complaining or pointing out all the things that you
Mm-hmm.
don't like because it's not like this place or it's not like that,
Right.
it's not like what I'm used to. Okay, let me make the best out of this for
Mm-hmm.
my health.
Right.
We're not trying to gaslight or sabotage our mindset. It's like
Mm-mm.
not every space, and I mean in totality, not
Right.
every space in life that we get to is going to be comfortable.
Right.
And
Right.
we won't be always able to retreat, sometimes not at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you stabilize your mental, your
Mm-hmm.
emotional, your physical self to where like, let me find the joy in this. Let me find the comfort. Because I think sometimes too, what we'll do, we'll just, and I'm not dismissing it because it does work.
Right.
But what I'm about to say is gratitude, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to say, I'm grateful for waking up,
Right.
I'm grateful for, right? But finding true gratitude in, let's say we are in a relationship, because this is a show about relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no, you don't have the best relationship, with your parents, but you got to stay in their house because one of them is sick, or that parent you taking
Mm-hmm.
care of is sick, and y'all don't have the best relationship. But if I have to find gratitude in the hard parts,
Right.
even though we don't have the best relationship, that parent took care of me to the best of
Right.
their ability. I can, attest to that. That they didn't, they put me through college. They,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you can find to
Mm-hmm.
soften, because again, we hold on to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and when we don't work out, when we don't eat right, when we don't
Yeah.
get enough water,
All
to
this
get those
stack.
toxins out, because we're holding that energy in us. We're holding
Mm-hmm.
that energy in there. And so you walking around resentful, mad that you're in this space in this season right now, but you're not releasing anything.
Right.
You
I
know,
feel like I was, and this is another transparency moment. You know, they say God won't give you anything more than you can bear. And I think I was only equipped to just bear it. Like seriously. I didn't I don't think I fully understood the weight that was going to come along with everything. I knew it was going to be heavy because of considering why I was going home, but I've said this multiple times on our recordings. I'm a big energy person. And the energies that I was working against, and some of them weren't like malicious, they were just heavy energies. So let me be clear on that. But I think I was just strong enough to deal with it, like to be completely honest. Um, Enough that where I wouldn't completely lose myself, enough where I wouldn't like fall into a deep dark depression, but it was a lot. It was heavy. You know, when you tag on the passing of my father, my mother battling cancer, she losing her husband, just like the people are like, I don't do no bunch of fake mixing. And I want to be around a lot of people that I really don't vibe with like that. I'm not fake. I would rather not be around you. I'm just being real. Um, and even that, there's a lot of people in Charleston that I'm like, and yeah, I'm just be real because like I've outgrown certain things. And that's not to diminish anything about anybody, but there's certain conversations I want to have. There's certain places I want to be. And if you can't connect with me on that or align with me on that, that's okay. But it doesn't mean I have to stay in that space with you because you just like who I am as a person. No, we are not aligned in that. So I need to go find people who I can align with. I struggled with finding alignment in Charleston with a lot of the things that I wanted for my life. So, to be real, my Charleston people who do align with me, they ain't in Charleston. They're not. Um, so they go and they visit, and like the other thing I want to add is I was a little saddened by the fact that, you know, when all the years that I had been away, I loved telling, you know, oh, I'm from Charleston, it's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. But then when I was there, I was like, I'm ready, I'm ready to leave. Like, I don't want to have that type of feeling about my hometown. But I was starting to switch. I was like, I don't like it here. And I was like, yeah. So all the things, a lot of mental work. It was a mindset. Um, but I'm thankful that I'm learning more still about what I need to be okay. And that does include a lot more no's and boundaries. And we've been talking about this for about 3 years now, me setting boundaries.
yeah, I'm gonna beat you in a minute.
But they change too, you know, that's something that
Yeah, but you have to get the foundation. So I don't
right,
want to go to your boundary changing when you ain't even got the basis of
right.
boundaries yet.
Yeah.
So that's why
And
I'm gonna beat you.
and to add to that too, for those who are like, well, I need to set boundaries, sometimes you don't know that you don't have a boundary. I was that person. I didn't know I did not have.
Yeah.
I just like, yeah, I think a part of it was like, I assume people would know better. They don't.
So let's stay here for a minute because I have run into this.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly this is, you know, common is what I want to say,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if it was my dad or my grandma, but I was always told, don't let nobody take your power. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And not in
Mm-hmm.
no cocky way. It was just put to me point blank, period. Don't let
Mm-hmm.
anyone take your power, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, what I would get my gears going, as Ralph and as a coach, is
Mm-hmm.
to hear from people who are absolutely born, and still walking around as nice people, as genuine people, as givers, as empathetic, you know what I'm saying? Just a all around nice person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you run into your nasty person who did you wrong, who hurt your
Right.
feelings. And then they're like, well, what's the point of me being like this? Because all I do is get hurt. And I
Right.
say, because you don't have any boundaries. And it's like, I shouldn't have to protect myself if
Right.
you're, no, 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 no. Because again, as we grow, we learn everybody's not like us, because if
Right.
everybody was like us, we all be the same. Right.
Right.
So there's not, because, and I try to explain that person, we all come with a slate, right? As a baby, that person wasn't just mean, but
Right.
something happened and they
Facts.
let that person take their power. And so they were like, well, I'm not going to be nice anymore. And then
Yep.
you go about to do the same thing. And I'm like, we need more people on this side. As me doing this work, we need more people on the nice side. Because there's a lot of people on that side who don't even want to do the work, because all I'm do is get hurt again, defeated, giving up. You know what I'm saying? And those are also people who go to church, who pray to God, do all of that, and don't have not a near bit of faith.
None.
And I tell people, your job is not to govern, control how someone is going to interact with you. You don't have control over that. The only thing you have control over is you, and you protect yourself. So when I go into relationships, if I meet a new person, if I meet a new guy, whatever, I don't have a wall up.
Right.
I'm giving you 150% of Ralph, right? And everybody, oh God, I love Ralph, I got Ralph. But the moment you do something to me, access denied, you're done. And what people say about me, you cut people off. You show me who you are, I believe you. I don't need you to do it 15 times.
Right.
I don't need you to do it 15 times. I don't need to give you the benefit of the doubt. When you go on a job interview, you don't go on there with a wrinkle up shirt. First impression, you better bring your first impression in, you better keep it.
Yeah.
Because the moment that mask falls off, the moment you want to do something shady to me, guess what? Honey, I will smile in your face and be like, I love you to death. I hope nothing happened to you.
Right.
Closed door.
It's about authenticity.
It's about authenticity. And I'm not going to allow you to take my power, to dim my light, just because you decided I'm going to give up. I'm going to give up. I'm going to be the mean person. I'm going to be the toxic person. Honey, I'm not doing it.
The blessing over your life was that you were taught to be that way. Because there's so many of us that just.
But what I'm saying is, when I am talking to someone, just like you, I'm getting pushback. It's hard. It's hard. Who said it's not hard? Just because I was taught doesn't mean it's not hard.
Right.
This is a choice. And I'm determined you're not going to hurt me. You're not going to take my power. And that's what I mean about rocking with me. Through this, you got to find that I'm rocking with me. I'm rocking with me.
But see,
I rock with you.
Here's what I'm trying to explain, though, as a person who was not taught that. My brain has taken into adult years to even begin to understand what you're saying.
Right. And I understand
that has come with me being in therapy and coaching.
But for the people who are not in therapy and coaching, that's an excuse. As a coach, that's an excuse.
So
because I have clients who, just like you, they had parents on drugs. They had parents who was focused on their business. They had parents focused on work. They didn't have time to tell you be confident or be confident, right? But just like when you get to a certain age and you're like, shit, I keep getting eat up. I'm gonna have to do something. So adult you have to realize I have to do something to rewire myself to work. We can't continue to use that as an excuse. I wasn't taught. Because there are plenty of people out there who wasn't taught to ride a bike, they figured it out. There was plenty of people who wasn't taught to swim, they figured it out. I wasn't taught a lot of things. My grandma died early. I didn't know anything about womanhood, period, but I had to figure it out. You had to figure it out. We can't use the excuse anymore. I wasn't taught.
Right. But you don't know what you don't know is my point.
You don't, but what I'm saying, you know when the shit don't feel good.
But what I'm trying to explain is what I was taught, that sometimes it just don't feel good and you just deal with it. So that's still a reworking mentally is what I'm trying to explain. I hear you and I agree. But when you taught that that it's okay to feel like trash all the time because that's a part of life, because there's a lot of people out here teaching that, oh, it's okay. You just sacrifice yourself and you just give and you drain yourself. that is what a lot of people are taught. So even though it does not feel right, it don't feel good. There is that part of us in us telling us this don't feel good,
Yes.
but then your mind is working against it because somebody told you that's how it's supposed to feel.
Right. And
So
then
that's
people
a
to a
hard,
point.
that's like, but, and it's like that, it's almost like the 1% that decides, no, I don't want to believe that this is okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's
I
like,
don't. I don't want to say 1%. I want to. I
I
want to
just
get
threw a
all.
number out there. I wasn't
No,
really.
no. I know it's low, but
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying. But it's the because I mean we all get a tugging. Even the evil, mean
Mm-hmm.
people, they get a tugging.
Yeah, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? They get a tugging. It's ignoring it and settling in it because again,
Mm-hmm.
just like you, just like me, you're not the pull out the violin type of person.
Right.
Because we all know people, and there
Yes.
might be people who are looking at this, who are those people who,
Yes.
when you meet them, they pulling out that story.
Mm-hmm.
When I was little, my parents left me, and when oh God, oh, like no one
Yeah.
else has a story, right?
Right.
But
Right.
you're the
Right.
type of person who hasn't allowed for the story
Right.
make you. It's
Right.
not you. You don't have to pull out your violin and say, hey, this happened to me. Woe with me. Pity me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't do that, right? So I,
Mm-hmm.
as your friend, I, as a coach, I'm not going to allow you to be like these things because you're the type of person be like, yeah, I was taught that, but that don't work for me right now. I got to
Right.
figure out something else.
But you know what also helped me with that? Just life exposure, getting
Yes,
around different people,
yes.
leaving the environment that I was accustomed to. But, and I know a part of that is tied to who I am as a person. You know, like I'm always like, let me go see and check this thing out. I might not like it when I get there, but I'm gonna go try it and see first. But
Yes.
in those moments, those have been the times in my life where I've been exposed to different people that don't show up the way that I was taught. And I'm like, well, how you,
But guess
does it
what?
work?
But guess what? You made a choice. Just like I said,
Exactly.
you
Mm-hmm.
made
Mm-hmm.
a choice to like, oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute now, because again, you could have ignored. And that's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. All of
Mm-hmm.
this is a choice. So that's why I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying that's an excuse. Because
Mm-hmm.
just like you were put in alignment with people who grew up differently or showed up differently
Right.
than what you were
Mm-hmm.
taught. So
Right.
then God is saying, what you gonna do?
Right.
And you
Right.
say, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take that fish.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
take that fish. And
Yeah.
so for all of us, we are put in situations, we are put around people. We are, say people come across our path and they be like, I don't know where you came from, but oh my God, I
Mm-hmm.
needed you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
choice to take that, to take
Yeah.
that golden ticket, to take that fish. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us say, I want it,
Right.
scared,
Right.
I'm gonna ignore it.
There's a thin line between faith and fear.
Yes. And then like I'm used to pulling out that violin. I'm used
Mm-hmm.
to having a pity party and I get attention that way.
Yeah.
So I'm a rock with this. And so we're no longer going to use that excuse as to I wasn't taught. You're going to push forward and say, I'm going to protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
So Candace no more is going to say, I wasn't taught to be confident. I wasn't taught to have
Mm-hmm.
boundaries. We're as of today, we're not using that no more.
Okay.
Well, you go ahead and keep getting your ass. You okay. Because I get ate up. That's you. So you
So
how
I
if
was
you want
about to
to.
say something else about that. And I'm drawing a blank right now, but like so for those of you who listen to this and get inspired, encouraged, as I hope you do, to take that leap of faith, understand you might appear to be the outcast. It may seem like you only got that one person that you encounter, but that's enough
That's okay.
if they're getting you where you need to get to.
Yeah.
So like it's I spend a lot of time as well. I spend as much time as possible alone, and it's okay. Like it is okay. But if it's giving you peace, peace is something the money cannot buy you.
Well, you got to find peace in it first if you're not used to not having a distraction. Because sometimes having a
Mhm.
lot of people around is just a distraction. Because it's like y'all don't
Yes.
even be doing that. You just be around a bunch of
Yes.
people. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
when
I
you
would.
find peace within yourself too, because there's a lot of people who don't want to do anything by themselves, go anywhere by
Oh,
themselves. So you have to find peace within yourself. Because again,
yes.
I mean, I
Let me
hate to
tell
say,
y'all. I used to have tons of people around me all the time. And now it is a small percentage. Like
Yes.
I honestly, God, I don't wish any harm on them. I don't know what's going on with them anymore though. And it's not even that there was like this big falling out. I just have found more peace and less noise in my life. Like I would rather have quality over quantity. So the people who I do keep near and dear, they're praying with me, they're manifesting with me, they are like laughing with me, they are praying, like they're just, it's different. Like we don't get into a lot of mess. Do we, everybody have their little stuff, but like, girl, let me tell you. But it's not, that's not it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I put my eyes on a goal, these people can undoubtedly help me get there. Are they doing the work for me? No, but sometimes it might just need be that person I need to speak life into me just a little bit, one day. Not like, oh girl, why you want to do that? And some of the people that I no longer engage with were the, ooh, girl, why you want to do that type. So I don't keep those people around anymore. Because those little crazy thoughts sometimes might be those things that bless you like crazy. And you just need somebody to be just as radical as you sometimes. Y'all look, they don't even know all the stuff that we done listed out. But I'm just like, so I definitely, it would encourage people to really take a look at your circle too, and and
Well,
and
you can't you do that with reflection again.
yeah.
Way back to once you reflecting and being aware and start changing things, the
Mm-hmm.
thing is either you will elevate with someone
Yep.
or you will elevate beyond someone.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how your circle really changes. It's not even looking
Yes.
to be like cut, cut, cut.
Right.
Just you'll find yourself just how they say dissolve. That's not what I
Mm-hmm.
want to use, but you kind
I'm
of just like break apart without even saying anything. Is if
right.
the calls become less, the going
Mhm.
out becomes less because y'all on different frequencies. You have
Right. That
elevated
part.
to a degree to where you're doing different things, or you're just focused on yourself, and
Right.
you're just because for a lot of us, once we start really like honing in on being better, growing better,
Mhm.
it spreads through all of the things in your life, your finances. You trying to figure out what
Yes.
else can I invest in? What other you just start getting knowledge hungry about bettering yourself in all areas, not just physical, personal. You might start eating better and you become knowledgeable. And so then you start attracting people that's on that level. But then if
Yep.
you look up, you keep elevating those same people that you got to level 12. Now you on 15, you done, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Detached from them, and now you're on
Right.
level 15. So
Right. Right.
this is a evolution all the time. And,
Mm-hmm.
and at
Mm-hmm.
every level, it is going to be hard because guess what? It's new.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all. It's just new.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the only reason why it's hard because you haven't done it before. That's all.
That part.
And
That
then
part.
you're gonna be like, when you look back, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't. I had a friend share with me last night that, and it blessed me because like when you going through life and life gets hard, you don't realize how your testimony is going to bless the next person.
There you
So
go.
when I was going through, that person was, we would talk through things. Hey, try this, do that. It was a period of time where I wasn't working and, just thinking about maintaining my home and all of that. But I never lost faith that I would be okay. And it was months and I never lost anything. So fast forward a couple years later to have someone say, look, I recently went through something and then I thought about how you got through and it inspired me and blessed me. So I said, if Candace can do it, I can too. And
Amen.
I said, you know what? I appreciate you sharing that because oftentimes I still look back on that and I'm like, man, like I
Okay.
could have been homeless. I could have not had a vehicle. I could have so many things. Like I didn't stop doing anything that I desired to do in that time. And like there was just blessings coming from random places. And here I am on the other side of it. And I don't know, it's just so yeah, it was a blessing to me to hear that I bless someone that I admire. You know what I'm saying? Like that I look up to in many ways. So I just wanted to share that because, like, yeah, it is hard. Going through change is hard, but just keep moving forward. Go ride that ramp down.
If you could
Right.
take a point from me, like I said, just know on the other, if I, not if, when I get to the other side,
Mhm.
I need smooth sailing.
Yeah,
Like I get excited. Like I said, I get
yeah,
excited, be like, okay, because once I get through this,
yes,
okay,
yes,
it's gonna be popping. It's gonna
right.
be, so
But
if
that
you
goes back to what you said earlier, mindset.
yeah, your
That's
mindset,
all.
you got to keep your mind strong. You have to keep your mind strong because
Mindset.
if we get in churchy with it, the enemy
Mhm.
knows, and so you having those weak moments, you got to have strong people around. You can't have doubters around you,
Yes,
even if it's one
yes.
person that is
Hmm.
balls to the wall for you, and you
Hmm.
I don't know, I don't want to hear that, I don't want to hear, I don't know, you
Right.
what we need to do, we need to pray, we need to come together, what we need to do because we're not giving up. You need
Yeah.
that person that when you can encourage yourself, they're there to like, no, no, I got you. Let's go. What you need from me? What do you need?
And that speaks volumes because it's like I said, quality over quantity. I got three people genuinely that when I know I'm getting to that point, I'm like, hey, I'm having a hard day, blah, blah, blah. And I might tag all three, I might tag one, I might tag two, but I reach out because I
Yeah,
know that I need help, and
I need a little bit more today. I need a little bit more encouragement.
I know that I'm gonna get what I need from
Yeah,
those people. Like, and I trust that God, like they bring different energies, of course, because they're different people. So even in those moments, it's like I trust God, like who to reach out to in those moments.
yeah.
Because I might need this rah right here, but then I might need like here I'm gonna send you this, read this from that person. But you don't need a lot. You just need some quality people who gonna pull you through and that's not a regular thing. It's not often, but when you need it, you gotta have somebody to like just, hey, I'm over here crying all day. I'm thinking about this and then sometimes, I don't know, it's different. Like I think, and this is just to Ralph always say, I'm gonna give you that tough love. She knows how to soften her tough love when necessary. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah, if I sense you're being hard headed, then I'm not gonna let up.
yeah,
But if I know this is like a situation to where you're having a hard day, um,
yeah,
yeah, then you're gonna get the softer Ralph. You're not gonna
right.
get, girl, why are you over there crying? You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that.
I have a hard-headed nature, so
I think they see that.
yeah, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
I attract y'all. I just be like,
Yes. It's like, come on,
nah.
shake the mane. I'm ready. What challenge am I going to give Ralph today?
So I'm gonna start beat. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna start beating y'all. It's just be like, pull my belt up, just
Yeah.
and then I'm be mad y'all made me cry for doing it. So,
Right. Yeah.
so do you
Mhm.
have anything else for us?
No, this was good. This was really good. I'm already looking forward to our next chat. It's kind of put some things. It was nice to hear me say those things out loud because I honestly hadn't stopped to do the self-reflection on what I have done since we last talked about that.
Mm.
I know I was doing it, but just to, pause and say it is an entirely different thing. So, but no, I don't have any. This has been great. I'm looking forward to the next time.
All right. Well, then, if you don't have anything else, I don't have anything else. And as
Okay.
I always say, stay safe and sexy.